Welcome back to another episode of the Draw Control podcast. On today's episode, I'm joined by incoming senior on the UTampa women's lacrosse team, Jenna Myhal. Jenna has played in 43 games and has 49 goals and 16 assists to help the Spartans win two national championships and three SSC championships to go along with that. Jenna, I'm super excited to have you on the podcast today. Thank you so much for coming on. How is everything going?
It's great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, obviously, you just wrapped up your junior year, which was obviously very special, which we'll get into that as we go along throughout this interview. But what have it's been like almost it's been over a month since the season ended. So what have you been up to since then, and how have you been reflecting on the season?
Yeah, it was such a great season, and to win two national championships, I think we were all like still in shock about that, but I think we really didn't have a doubt the whole season, and I definitely think that this year has been so different for me, just because I had torn my ACL at the beginning of the season, so just like trying to learn how to be a teammate more than just a player has been really special for me this past season. And honestly, as much as it sucks to get hurt and tear your ACL, it's just been so great for me to learn how to be a better leader to my team and not being on the field with them.
Now, what are your plans for this off season? How is the injury going, and do you plan on being back by the time fall ball starts?
So my plans have mostly been just like, rehabbing, getting my knee better, but definitely working on the things that I can control. Obviously I can't be running right now or doing that stuff. So really like going and shooting and doing stick work and yeah, just controlling the controllables. I would say that I'll probably be back around January more so. So I should be back for season. Sadly, I don't think I'll be back for fall ball just because it was such a weird time that I had my surgery. But I'm very excited to be able to be back with my team. And even though I can't play during fall ball, being able to run and kind of cheer them on.
Now, obviously, you're going to be a senior next year, so have you thought about the type of leadership you want to bring towards the team? Would you consider yourself more of a vocal leader or lead by example type of player? And do you think your injury last year sort of helped you out in that aspect?
Yeah, so I think I actually have talked to my coaches about this a lot. And at the beginning of the year, I was always a lead by example person, just get stuff done and do it well. And now that I've had this injury, and even before the injury, I talked about wanting to be a more vocal leader. And I think that this injury has helped me a lot because I've had to sit on the sidelines and almost act as a coach with some of the younger players who are stepping into these higher positions. So I think I kind of just want to continue that. And I want to help the incoming freshmen go from high school lacrosse to collegiate lacrosse because it's such a hard transition. So I think that's really what I want to do as a leader this year and just, again, being more vocal.
Have you had the chance to meet any of the freshmen yet, or when do they start? When do they join campus, I guess? How does that work?
Yeah, so they came for a visit last year and they kind of played with the team a little. It was so great to meet all of them. But I think they come onto campus like August, the week of the 15th, I believe. So we'll see some of them then, help them move in and everything and get them all adjusted and do dinners with them. So I can't wait to hang out with them. We've met them, but I haven't really met them
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Well, obviously, it's going to be exciting net season for you guys next year. Hopefully, again, that three-peat. But
Yeah.
let's transition now and sort of talk about the beginning of your lacrosse career and sort of work all the way up to where you are now with UTampa. So, in your bio, it says you're from Suffern, New York. So, talk about growing up there and how did you start playing lacrosse?
Yeah, so Suffern has always been a huge lacrosse town. We're one of the few towns in our area in Westchester that was really big on lacrosse. So we would have to go and play. We'd have to travel far distances to play the Long Island teams a lot of times. But it was honestly just like destined to happen every time in Suffern. Like everyone tries to play the sport, and my sister always played lacrosse growing up, and I kind of just followed whatever she was doing. I did that with lacrosse, basketball, soccer. I kind of just followed along, and I just honestly really enjoyed all of the sports, especially being able to play with her and hang out with her a lot.
And growing up, who was your favorite lacrosse player or team that you like to watch?
That's a hard one. Honestly, I'm tough at watching the game just because I want someone to root for. So I loved watching lacrosse when I was watching like a friend or like my sister play and everything. I loved watching that, but it was more local, I'd say.
Yeah. Would you say like after you're done playing, you will be like when you watch UTampa, you'll feel that same way?
I definitely think so, just because I'll know all those freshmen and I'll have all those connections. And I'm just excited because of how much this program has grown in the past few years. And I'm excited to see what it does after I leave.
Yeah, for sure. Well, before college, you played for your high school at Suffern High. What was your high school lacrosse experience like, and do you have like a favorite memory from that time when you look back on it now?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little weird because of COVID, but I would say my senior year was one of the best years playing lacrosse. Just, I think my favorite memory is we had a good run to get to the state final. We didn't quite make it. We got to the semifinals, but just, working to that high level of lacrosse and being able to like play against these tough Long Island teams, that was just so much fun for me.
Now, you also play club lacrosse for Metro. How did your club lacrosse experience sort of help prepare you for college with UTampa?
Yeah, I think that club lacrosse taught me a lot about being selfish as a player a little bit. I think that I never wanted to be a ball hog. I kind of wanted to make sure everyone got their piece of it. But I think that club taught me that like sometimes you have to take the ball yourself and you have to shine out so that you can get recruited and everything. And that was such a great thing because coming into my freshman year, obviously you don't want to step on toes, but you have to show who you are and what you can do. So I think that really helped me stand out to the coaches.
Now, I assume you get asked this all the time, so I promise this will be the one question I ask you about. But your half sister is Abby Bosco, which I assume most people know, but in case anyone doesn't know, now
Yeah.
they do. But she had an incredible lacrosse career with UPenn in Maryland, and I had her on the podcast a couple years ago. Very nice person. But I just want to ask you, what has she sort of meant to you in your lacrosse career, both on and off the field, and what have I guess you've learned from her over your time playing the sport?
Yeah, I mean, playing with Abby has meant so much. Since we were younger, we've always played together. Now that she's at such a high level, it's crazy to me just because I'm like, this is the girl I used to play lacrosse with in my backyard and just 1v1 all the time. And honestly, I think playing together when we could, just practicing and even now going and shoot, it helps us both become better players because we're always competing in whatever we do. We've always just been a very competitive family. So it's so nice to really be able to play with her. Even when we go on runs, I mean, she's one of the fastest people I know. So she definitely pushes me, but we're always kind of trying to beat each other. So watching her play and just like having her come to my games now, it means so much to me.
Yeah. Now let's talk about your recruiting process with UTampa. What was that like for yourself, and what made you want to go there versus other schools you might have looked at?
Yeah, so my recruiting process was a little crazy, just again, because it was COVID and everything. I think I wasn't explained very well what I should be doing for recruiting. So I really wanted to go to a bunch of D1 schools. And so I tried to do that, and I didn't have much luck with that. And I kind of had just been like, all right, I know I want to go down south. Whether I do it for lacrosse or not, I know I want to go down south. And so I think it was like late spring, I was doing a camp in Florida and I was like, I'm just gonna like go check out Tampa. It was in the area. And I went to Tampa and I fell in love with the school itself. And I think that's so important for younger kids too, just to know that you love the school. And then that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna reach out to the coaches and see if I could try to play here. And honestly, it all worked out perfectly. And it was more so a gut feeling about the team, meeting the coaches, meeting some of the players. I was just like, I just want to be here.
Now, what was like the biggest adjustment you had to make to college lacrosse once you were a freshman?
I definitely think one of the biggest adjustments was how fast the game is. I don't think people realize how, like, just people are quicker. Everyone's working out now, so people are stronger. So it's just like the ball moves at so much more pace than in high school lacrosse. And I think that really threw me for a loop. Also, just your first time catching the ball and really having pressure on you, it's a little scary, but once you get through it, it was so much easier.
Now, in your freshman year, your team won the SSC Championship for the first time in your playing career. Talk about winning that championship and sort of what it meant to you.
Yeah, so that championship, I came off of a small injury and I was playing before that, but like just a little bit. And then that game was like one of my first few games back. And one of our top players had fouled out of the game. And so they kind of were just like, all right, Jenna, you got to go in. And we were down by 9 points to Florida Southern, and we wound up clawing our way back. And just, it was such a special moment to be a part of. And I mean, I never really understood what it was like to win this championship. And everyone says you want to win it, you want to win it. And then being in that moment, you're like, wow, this is really such a great moment. I'm so happy that like we won and we're moving on to go to the playoffs. Like that's such a great thing as a team to do.
Now, that season, your team lost to the same Florida Southern team in the NCAA tournament. What did your team learn from that game that you think helped your team out for the next two seasons? Especially since you normally play a team in your conference, it felt like in the national tournament as well as in that conference championship game.
Yeah. So, I mean, that loss was such a tough loss. And I think we always say it at Tampa, like we love winning, but we hate losing. And I think that game really just showed us like, wow, we do not want to lose. And I think it really propelled us to the next two national championships. I say it all the time. The day we won the first national championship, I told one of the seniors from the past year who wasn't with us for the national championship, sadly. But I told her, I was like, this is all because of you guys. Like, we couldn't have done this without you. We weren't able to help you guys get there last year, but this year we were able to. And I think just watching those seniors and just this is their last game. They wanted to make it to the national championship and they weren't able to. We just didn't want to feel that way. And we wanted to win a national championship. We wanted to win that game as much as we wanted to win the national championship this year. So I think without that loss, I don't know if we would have had these two past national championships just because we now know that feeling of losing too.
Well, let's talk about that first national championship run your team had. So you guys once again won the SSC Championship. What did that one sort of mean to you as a sophomore, and what was your team's mindset heading into the tournament that year, knowing what took place the year prior?
Yeah, it was so I mean, last year we lost in the regular season to Florida Southern and that was such a tough loss because we were like coming off of beating them in the SSC and then we were like all right, we just lost them again. Um so we got to like get it together and win this. So I think just coming back and being able to win that and we kind of it was a close game. So that was a really exciting feeling knowing that we came out on top on a close game. And then when we played them again in the regional playoffs, it was kind of like we knew we had it the whole time. So I think that win kind of gave us the confidence to win the regional finals.
Now, you guys had an incredible run to the national championship game as you guys beat two number one ranked teams to go on and get that trophy. Talk about the run that your team had leading up to the championship game, and what do you remember most about it now?
Yeah, I mean, it was I think there was a few girls that had gotten hurt throughout the season and some star girls like me and a few of other girls got hurt and we weren't sure if we were playing or we weren't playing. So I think that there was a little bit of panic, but um seeing the team just grow and seeing freshmen and sophomores who really had to step up and then we're going on these runs and they're doing so great. It was honestly such like an amazing feeling. Just obviously I couldn't play, but being able to watch my team do so well, I think again it made me a different leader because I wasn't just a player. I wasn't just in there to play and to score. I was there for my teammates more as support. And so it was so great. And then I would say my favorite moments, honestly, were just winning. We always say playing is like we play to have fun, but it's fun to win. So I really think watching everyone like just win these games, watching the freshmen who haven't really won like a regional final or just to see them be so excited was such a great time. And then we knew that UIndy and Adelphi were going to be different teams than the teams that we had played during season. So to come out on top was a great feeling.
Yeah, you guys beat Adelphi to win your first national championship. What emotions were you going through after that game? And yeah, just talk about what it meant to win that first one because it's always hard to win the first. I feel like the first one's
Yeah.
always the hardest.
Yeah, it was definitely a whirlwind of emotions. I know like that morning, I think I woke up and I was like, we're gonna win today. It wasn't like a cocky feeling, more so of just like I knew we were going to work hard that day and I like just had a feeling we were going to win. But actually winning was the craziest, most surreal feeling ever just because Tampa has never won. Just knowing that you made history for Tampa and even myself, like my sister has tried to win national championships and at a different level, obviously, but being able to win a national championship was just such a great feeling.
Now let's move on to the this past season, and obviously, you guys were a really good team. I know you didn't. I know you were injured for most of the year, so you could still talk about it though, obviously, like on the bench and stuff. But your team only lost like one game this whole season. How did you think your team sort of maintained that consistency throughout the regular season and sort of deal with the pressure of knowing that there was a target on your team's back, being the defending champions?
Yeah, I think one of the things that has always helped us is we never thought of ourselves as better than all the other teams. We always thought of ourselves as the underdogs. So whatever game we were going into, whether it was a top 20 ranked team or an unranked team, we are the underdogs in this game. They want to beat us. What are we going to do to beat them? So we knew we had this target on our back, but in the end of the day, we still had to prove a point to other people. So I think that, just that was a tough loss, but then the next day just being like, all right, that's in the past, like having fish memory kind of 5 seconds later, what are we looking at? And it was really just we have this target on our back, but it doesn't matter. What matters is our team. How are we going to perform to beat another team?
Yeah, you guys beat Adelphi College to win your second national championship. What emotions were you going through after that win, sort of in a different role? And have you fully processed it, I guess, a month later, knowing that, you're now a back-to-back national champion?
I definitely have not processed it still. It was again, such a surreal moment. We had talked about it with our strength coach and everything. They were like, going back to back's really hard. You're going to have to fight hard. And I think we did just that. We fought really hard and just, being a teammate for that game. I think you've probably seen the clips of our sidelines going crazy. It's just so much fun to watch our team do so well, no matter where you are, whether you're on the sidelines or in the stands. It was just such a fun time. And I think that we just have fun with our game. It's working hard and having fun while doing so. Um, yeah, I think this year's national championship was just so different from last year's because last year's we were like, all right, we're working to win Tampa's first ever national championship. And this year we were kind of like, all right, we want to go back to back. It's not about making history. It's about we want to feel that feeling that we felt last year.
Yeah.
And we definitely did. It was a lot of fun after.
How did the dog mask sort of come into play for that
I
celebration?
I think I think it was a lot of our teammates are from Philadelphia, so they're big Eagles fans. And I think that there was I think the dog masks were on Eagles players or something like that. And I think they kind of were like, all right, we're ordering the masks and we're going to do it. And it was such a big hit last year. And we were just like, this is hilarious. We've always called ourselves the dogs, or like our field has always been the dog pounds. Then to actually have the dog masks and to be like barking at people, it's like, we just have a fun time. It's crazy.
Have you ever put it on, or is it like only like certain people like want to do it?
It's so funny. I think in the semifinals, I put it on, and my roommate was standing right next to me, and we had just gone down like 2 goals. So UND was winning by 2 or something. And she was like, all right, you got to take off the mask. She was like, it's not working for you.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I guess I've tried the mask on, but I think the good juju or whatever only works with a few people. Definitely not me.
Maybe you gotta do like a Spartan hat or something. Try to do
Yeah,
something to make it.
mix it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I agree. I was like, I definitely can't wear the dog masks.
What's the coolest thing you've gotten to do since winning the national championship? Like, do you get, I know you have like the ring ceremony, but is there anything like you guys get to do on campus now that you've won?
um, I think the ring ceremony was a lot of fun. I would say less on campus, more so like last year we were able to go to the White House for the Champions Day, and that was just, I've never been inside the White House, so just to be there was such a cool feeling. And then getting to talk to other people who had also won the national championship was so cool too. I think that was probably one of my favorite things we've done.
So it's a national champions for every sport in
Yeah,
college, like
I
athletic.
think they do it like I don't think like football and that stuff is necessarily on the same day. I think that those teams are so big they have to do it on other days. But like all the other teams, so like it was us, our men's swimming team, our baseball team, and then like we would see like Boston College was there last year, so we saw some of them, and it was really cool. It was such a fun day.
Yeah. Are they doing it again this year, or are you not sure?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure when we got like when we had heard about it last year. It might have been like early July, so who knows?
Yeah, we'll find
I
out
guess we'll
soon, I
see.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the one question I did want to ask you before we went to the non-lacrosse segment was, what do you think's been like the biggest improvement you sort of made to your game throughout your time with UTampa?
Yeah, I think that I've always had like the physical stuff, but I think really learning IQ and like my freshman year watching these seniors and they just know where to be on the field. And I was like, how do you just know where to go? How do you know what to do? How do you know where to stand? Whereas I'm like, I have to think 40 times a game, like, where do I need to be? What do I need to be doing? And then this past year when I was able to play, I was just like, okay, like I don't even have to think about it. It's kind of just like I'm on like whatever. I'm on autopilot. I'm just kind of doing what I have to do and being in the right spot and just seeing the field. I think that's what's grown the most for me is just the IQ piece of it. And then also, going in your freshman year and you're nervous, you're scared, you've never been on the field of a collegiate game. And now I'm like, all right, I've been on this field, I've had experience, there's no need to get worked up and stress out. It's honestly just more calm. That's what I think has changed my game personally.
Well, let's move on to a segment I like to call the non-lacrosse segment, where I ask you some non-lacrosse questions to get to know you more off the field, and I'll try to answer some of these as well to make it a fun segment for the audience to listen to. So, first one is, if there was a movie made about your life, who would you want to play yourself?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I would say Jennifer Lawrence. I think that she's just fun and funny. I don't know if she's necessarily similar to me, but I think it would be interesting to watch.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I would say, I always say Ryan Gosling because that would just be fun. Because we look obviously nothing alike, but it would just be sort of fun to brag to people that he played in
Yeah.
the movie. But I recently saw the new F1 movie, and I know we don't look anything alike, but I thought he was a really good actor, and that's Damson Idris. So if there was like a movie to like sort of act like my mannerisms well,
Yeah.
that's what I would pick.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's honestly the best part is just getting someone to match your mannerisms and stuff like that.
Yeah, so that's those would be my two choices. Now, where's one place you would love to travel to soon?
Oh my gosh, I've always wanted, ever since I've watched Mamma Mia, I think I've always wanted to go to Greece. We're actually going to Italy this year, which I'm really excited for, but I've always wanted to go to Greece.
Oh, nice. Well, maybe I don't
Yeah.
know how far away it is from Italy, but maybe you can make a day trip or something.
Right?
So no, that's a good. I feel like a lot of people want to go to Italy, Greece. I would say for me probably just like the United States, like just like exploring like the USA. I feel like that would be fun.
Yeah, like a road trip.
Yeah, something like that. Like I feel like that would be fun just to do stuff because I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like I've seen some. I've only seen like a certain part of the country, but not everywhere. So it would be kind of cool to just see what else is around.
Yeah, I've definitely not seen a lot of the country, but whenever my friends go to random places, I just had a friend go to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and I was like, where even is that? And I saw pictures and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to go there. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Well, next question is who has the best style on the UTampa women's lacrosse team besides yourself, obviously.
I honestly would say I definitely have the worst style. I think I wear sweatpants and sweatshirts 90% of the year. But
Some people
I
might
would
consider that good
probably
style, though.
uh I would probably say Stia Markowski. She's
Okay.
always rocking something.
Well, that's everyone I talked to from your team says her. So, and
Yeah.
obviously, by the time this episode comes out, people will know. But we're trying to get her on the podcast. So, like, maybe instead of asking her who has the best style on the team, we gotta ask like fashion tips from her.
Yeah, seriously. I think that she just has like a lot of volume of clothes. She has so much that I'd be like, okay, you have to put together a good outfit if you have that many clothes. But yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
she's definitely got the best style on our team.
All right. Well, we'll definitely if we hopefully have her on so we can ask her more. That'll make a good podcast clip. But
Yeah.
Getting back to your non-lacrosse segment now, what's been the most interesting thing you've read or seen recently?
Oof, I'm so bad at keeping up with the news, but recently I've been like trying to watch all the Harry Potter movies. So I think that's definitely the most interesting thing I've seen this week. Um, yeah, everyone always talks about them, and I was like, all right, I have to watch it. So I sat down and watched. I'm on the last one, and I was like, wow, this is really good.
I've not seen a full Harry Potter movie ever.
I
I'm
definitely recommend. They're pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
It's just that they're long though. Like I have a very short
Yeah.
attention span, so that's kind
Well,
of
the
I'm the
first,
worst movie person because I like so they I feel like movies now are like 3 hours long. It's like I don't know if like I
yeah,
want to sit through. Like I gotta do it in pieces.
yeah, I think the Harry Potter, the beginning ones are pretty short because I said the same thing. I was like, I don't want to sit down. I wound up watching some of them while I was at right after my surgery, so I was like, I'm sitting here anyway. So, but the first ones are short, so they kind of got me into the series, and then I was like, all right, I could watch the long ones now.
Yeah, so maybe that's what I should do. I don't know. Like I have watched long movies in the past, but it's like I can feel like I can only do it like in the movie theater, not like
Yeah, yeah. There's too many distracting things.
no. So we'll see. I say this, but then I watch like 3 hour hockey games sometimes throughout ball game. So maybe
yeah,
like I'm more of a sports fan than a movie.
yeah.
I would say for me, I'm trying to think of something. Probably just like we're doing like research about Teddy Roosevelt just because he's
Oh,
sort of an interesting president, and so I think we got this book from him or like an autobiography about him. So I'm gonna try to read that. Just very interesting person, and then just thinking about like I was just thinking about this like kid that started breakdancing in the middle of like sixth grade and it just made me laugh. And it was just like it's a random thing that no one knows about that's listened to it.
yeah,
But that's like sort of interesting. It's like why did he just randomly do that? So that's probably honestly the most interesting thing I've been thinking about recently.
yeah. That's a
Uh,
good one.
Now, last non-lacrosse question is if you weren't playing lacrosse, what sport would you be playing at UTampa?
Definitely basketball. I think the amount of times I've made my friends go and just go to, we have these really nice outdoor courts right next to the dorms. I used to make my roommate go with me at like 11 o'clock at night. And I was like, we're shooting, we're just doing it. And then I think last semester, during when we were done with school and we were just there for lacrosse, I made the team go and do like 5v5s for like an hour. And our coaches were like, maybe don't do that. Maybe don't injure our, for our, everyone else on the team. But I've always loved basketball. It's one of my favorite sports.
Nice. Who's your favorite team?
Oh, I don't know. I've been watching the Knicks a lot just because they were in the series and everything. So I would probably say the Knicks, but yeah. If I had a little more height, I think I could go for basketball.
Yeah, didn't Abby play? If I remember, I feel like I remember talking to her about it, but I don't know 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I kind of just followed her whatever she did. So she did lacrosse, basketball, and soccer, and I joined too. But I think we both just fell in love with lacrosse and basketball.
Yeah. I'm a big Celtics fan, so you're probably mad at me about that. But the Knicks did beat them in the playoffs last year, so you have that
True.
rights. And I'm too short to be a basketball player, unfortunately, so I played hockey instead.
Nice.
But, I do like basketball. It's a very good, very fun sport to watch. And pickup's fun. That's like probably my favorite thing to like do now, like
Yeah.
in college. So I'm with you on that. But like I'm more like just like shooting around than like actually like playing like 5v5.
Yeah, I'm excited after lacrosse when I can do some pickup just to stay in shape and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I feel like basketball and like I'm gonna try to do some softball too to also stay in shape. But I need to find a
Yeah. A good adult softball league is always a fun time.
yeah, just be fun to like, play around. I don't know. So
Yeah.
that's sort of like the two sports I want to try like after college.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's get back to a couple of lacrosse questions. I guess the last one I want to ask you, Jenna, is what should be done to help grow women's lacrosse from your perspective?
I think we actually talk about this a lot just because my sister's so prominent in like the pro leagues and all that stuff. And I think um starting this WLL league is a great start. And I think once they get that going, it's gonna help women's lacrosse so much. I just think we need to get more interactive with the fans and everything just to get more people to want to watch lacrosse. And even the men's team, I mean, watching men's lacrosse is so much fun. So I'm like, just getting more people from like football fans and hockey fans and that stuff to watch lacrosse in general, I think would help the sport greatly.
Now, do you have any shout outs you want to give Jenna to your family members, teammates, friends, classmates? Who should we have on the podcast next?
Oh, I would say I'll probably shout out my sister. She's been shouted out this whole time, but I'll shout her out and, just my family for helping me get to where I am. I could not have won two national championships without them. And I don't think I could have watched, been on the sidelines this year being injured. I don't think I could have done that without them at all. So definitely shout them out. And I would say the next person, you need to have Sia on your podcast.
Yeah,
You gotta have
we'll
her.
try to get her on. I think that she was away for a few weeks, so I don't know if she's back yet, but we'll try to.
Yeah.
So that one I'll say right now, and everyone who's listening to this will know if it happened or not. But um, we're working on it right now. So I'll try my.
All right.
But yeah, I also saw you have a brother. If you want to give him a shout out too, I know we shouted
Yeah.
out Abby.
Yeah. Richie too. He didn't play sports in college, but he is definitely helpful, definitely the most level-headed out of all of us. So, when I tore my ACL, Abby was going crazy and she was like, I can't believe this happened. He was like, it's all right. She'll be fine. So I couldn't have done it without him either.
That's good. That's good. Well, I didn't play co sports in college, so it's okay for anyone that listening. You don't need
Oh
a
yeah.
sports in college. It's all good. Some people
Oh
are
yeah.
just
We had a great time.
more talented than other people, I guess. So that's why you're playing, and that's why I'm not. So, but Jenna, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate your time. I think you're a great player, but an even better person. So just want to let you know that. And obviously, congrats on the national championship win and enjoy the ring ceremony whenever that happens. And obviously, wishing you the best in your injury recovery and can't wait to see you back on the field soon.
Yeah, thank you so much. I was so happy to be here and I can't wait to be back playing.
Yes.